5 or so minutes, so hopefully I'll be able to cover it in time, but bear with me.
On the photo, reading off, it says, get a job, go to work, get married, have children, follow fashion, act normal, walk on the pavement, watch TV, obey the law, save for your old age. Now repeat after me, I am free.
Now, if you look at it, obviously it doesn't seem like you would be free if you're dead, but I mean, I feel like that's how society's kind of persuaded us, you know. But it'll all make sense in the end. Okay. Okay, so my accident. This started December 9th, 2011, and I was in my university. It was finals month, and this was the last few weeks before the semester had ended, and so I had gone home from school that afternoon, and I was going to work to get dressed, or going home to get dressed for work. And as soon as I left the house, everything I'm about to tell you guys, I don't remember because I woke up in the hospital. And so everything I'm going to tell you right now, this was from the point of view of my cousin's friend. He told her, he told her, she told me everything that he saw. So from what had happened was that I was crossing the street on my way to work, and I guess the lady took a really nasty turn, didn't stop. She wasn't going at the speed she was supposed to be going, and she lifted me up on top of her car. I bounced off of, or I dented her hood, bounced off her windshield, flew off her car, hit another car, and then just flew down the rest of the street. And from what it looked like to them, I was dead, but I'm not. And so I woke up in the hospital trying to figure out what was going on, where I was at, and why I was in the condition I was in. And the injuries consisted of, from my shin down to my foot, including my ankle, everything was just shattered. The right side of my hip, and well, pretty much my whole body was just numb. My wrists, my arms, and my hands were lacerated, so they were torn up, and they were just numb. I couldn't really move them. And my wrists were just kind of buckled, so every time I moved them, they would kind of crack, but it would hurt a lot. And my right upper jaw was broken, so I couldn't eat much. Well, I could eat, but it would hurt to eat. My right ear was torn, like right to the center, so it was just hanging. My right eyebrow, and along with the rest of the right side of my face, was just torn up. And I would always make jokes with my brothers about getting stabbed when we would come home. Like, that's a completely other story. But because they had pulled out a few inch shard of glass from my hip, and I wasn't aware of it until I woke up and I saw what they were doing, and they didn't know because it was clear, so it didn't show up on the X-ray. And yeah, okay. Along with that accident, around the same time I was in a relationship, a serious relationship, and unfortunately didn't turn out or end well. And during the accident, I wasn't, myself because of that relationship. I wasn't the person that you would see me as before I was with her or while I was with her. And I remember one night that my mother had stayed with me at the hospital. I didn't plan to tell anyone what was going through my mind while I was in the hospital, but I ended up telling her anyway. I told her, Mom, if I had, passed, if that accident had taken me, I don't think I would have, gone to heaven. And she looked at me and she kind of, she asked me why I had said that, but she kind of asked me in a tone of why it is that I felt that way. And I told her because after the relationship, I felt my heart was in the right place, but my mind wasn't. Because my mind was taking me places that I didn't want to go, where I was supposed to go, think about things that I wasn't supposed to be thinking, and creating problems that weren't there in the first place. And soon after that, my mom told me, funny enough that you're telling me this, I had a dream that kind of relates to my whole situation. And she told me that she had a dream that there's a shepherd taking care of this little herd of sheep. And one specific sheep would always wander off from the little herd. And he'd always go get it, bring it back, get it, bring it back. Until one afternoon, the little sheep wandered off again. Except this time, the shepherd went to go get the sheep, and instead of just bringing them back, he broke the little sheep's leg, put him on his shoulder, and walked him back to the herd. And instead of just, continuously walking around with it, he kept it on his shoulders until he healed. And I thought about it for a second, like, okay, this is a weird story, but it made sense, like, okay, I get what you're saying, Mom. And it's not necessarily that God directly broke my leg, but he allowed it to happen for me to, focus on what was, in front of me. Because I would take, or I'd be aware that God was there, but I wouldn't, keep my focus on him. And it's already been, spread that God is a jealous God, but not in a way like, I guess not a vulgar way, but God is a jealous God in terms that, pay attention to him because, he is our creator. And this was a few months ago, funny enough, and it, I guess, relates to everything I was talking about, or I am talking about right now. And it was a Mark Twain quote. And the quote goes, "The two most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you figure out why." And obviously we all have already experienced the first, and if we haven't reasoned with the second, I'm sure it'll come. But for me, it kind of hit me, the accident was supposed to take me because it was a really intense accident. And I realized, okay, I'm obviously here for more than just going to school and going to work and having like a repeated, daily lifestyle and just everything in order all the same. And that kind of relates to this, to not necessarily involve God in everything you're doing, but like you should still have him there, like be aware that he's there. And that's what happened with me. So I'm not sure how to end this, but yeah, that's my story.